Here's why the argument from being is not particularly convincing.
The argument from being seeks to establish God's existence through the objective fact of existence, wujud, and not the so-called makeup and whatness of reality, which is what science essentially deals with. Whatness is called mahiyya in Arabic. The argument from being argues that there are two kinds of existence, contingent and necessary.
And how could the existence of anything be necessary? The only thing whose existence is logically necessary is a thing whose non-existence implies a contradiction. Is there any such thing? What can be thought of as existing that can't also be coherently thought of as not existing?
Contingent beings do not exist in and of themselves, but exist by virtue of their relation to other things, as well as being an effect of a logically prior event.
This sounds to me like it's another way of saying everything which begins to exist has a cause. I don't think this claim is justified, and I don't think one can justifiably say that everything which is contingent, in other words, which can possibly not exist, also must have a cause.
A necessary being is a being that exists in and of itself and does not exist by virtue of its relation to other things, or an event or being that is logically prior to it. It is fully existing and independent in all respects. There cannot be an infinite chain of contingent beings, nor can there be an infinite chain of cause and effect, for it leads to the logical absurdity of infinite regress.
While the universe and the events which occur in it are logically contingent, since you can always coherently imagine them not existing or occurring, each event is not contingent upon prior events. To assert that they are requires one to assume that the A theory of time is true. Science, however, has shown that B theory, which states that all events equally occupy reality rather than entering reality at their respective times, is more likely to be true. Each event is not brought into existence by a prior event because all events equally occupy existence.
The fact that we exist is proof that the chain of being is not infinite. The first starting point must therefore be the necessary being, who by virtue of bringing everything into existence, including consciousness and intelligence, must also hold something analogous to them.
How does that logically follow? This is a fallacy that I've heard a lot of apologists use. I don't know if it has a name, but I hear it often enough that it should have one. It is fallacious to infer that if a thing has some properties, whatever caused it to exist must also have those properties, or even something analogous to them. There is no basis for inferring that whatever caused consciousness and intelligence to exist must have been conscious or intelligent.
The necessary being must be an intelligent being that is the immaterial, spaceless, timeless, eternal cause and source of all reality.
If intelligence and consciousness require a creator who is intelligent and conscious, doesn't material reality require a creator who is material rather than immaterial? Why would it be the case that intelligent things can't be created by unintelligent things, but material things can be created by immaterial things? Thanks again for helping me out on Patreon.